Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. And look, unlike Arsenal, they've slipped up. I wouldn't say bottled it. I wouldn't even say, weakness. Sunderland are unbeaten in the Premier League this season at home. And they are third in the league. So respect to Sunderland, first of all, before we get into Arsenal. That is not a shock of the enormity that some people might talk about. I mean, it's not Arteta, is it? It's an Arsenal side that have defended fantastically well this season, that have won a lot of games this season, who have drawn away from home against a decent team at home. So, look, let's not forget that Arsenal were, 3 minutes away from a very, very, very good win. And I did expect to be talking about that because I think in the first half, they're losing 1-0. Second half, they get back to 2-1. And you look at Arsenal and you go, They have an answer to everything. They are climbing every obstacle. 1-0 down to 2-1 up, another 3 points. And they've done a lot of that this season. But Sunderland kept going. They had a couple of chances before the equaliser and they scraped and scrapped and they got it through Brobbey. So well done to Sunderland. I think from Arsenal's point of view, look, they would have liked to have won that game. Man City play Liverpool tomorrow. There is an opportunity that if Arsenal had won and Man City and Liverpool drew, you can open up a big gap. Now there's an opportunity for Man City or Liverpool to win and close the gap a little bit. But look, I think Arsenal will win the league. I want Arsenal to win the league over Liverpool and Man City because they're bigger rivals to United. But I don't want Arsenal to run away with the league. I want a title race. And I also think Sunderland as an underdog, that's fantastic for them today. So I think that's a good result. And I don't think in the fullness of time it will be a bad result for Arsenal. I think they massively missed Gyökeres. I mentioned this in the first half on the watch-along. Moreno put a shift in, but Gyökeres offers so much to Arsenal that isn't just goals. And the simpletons of this world talk about goals, but when you watch Arsenal and you watch Gyökeres, his physicality, his ability to push defenders back, push them out wide, create those spaces that people like Eze and Zubimendi and Saka can operate in, they missed that today. And Moreno, I felt, was a bit of an easier task, a lot easier task than it would have been if Sunderland played Gyökeres. So look, but you're going to get them across the season. And you're going to drop points across the season. You're going to concede goals across the season. Arsenal have been winning and not even conceding shots on target, let alone goals. Incredible defensive record. And tonight they've conceded 2 goals. And if you concede 2 goals in the Premier League, as we saw with United earlier and last week, if you concede 2 goals in the Premier League, you're probably not going to win many games. So look, they've got to look at that. Both goals really are the sort of goals that Arsenal would look to score. You win the first challenge and then you pick up the second ball. But I think what we saw tonight from Arsenal, from Sunderland as well, is something I was a bit confused about. That's only the second time I've watched Sunderland play 90 minutes this season. And yet I look at them in the league and go, something's going really, really well. When they played against us at United, I thought they were poor. But tonight, I thought, I get it. If they can mix it up with the best team in the league like they did tonight, then imagine what they can do to other teams who aren't Arsenal. So I think I saw what Sunderland are all about tonight. But I think we're also seeing in the Premier League this home record. Teams at home are good. Most teams are really good at home, and most crowds are reacting to that, and it's difficult to beat them, and that's why Sunderland are unbeaten. I thought it was a very, very entertaining game. I don't think it was a good game of football. I mean, look, we probably saw more long throw-ins than we did shots on goal. And, I think every single goal, apart from Trossard's, fair play. Both Arsenal's goals weren't like it, but Sunderland's goals were both from direct balls into the box that led to second balls to be won. And I don't like that, but that's the way football's being played at the moment. It's difficult to defend. Arsenal have the best defence in the league, and the both goals they conceded were goals, like I said, that they like to score, where you lump it into the box, you win the first ball and you win the second ball, etc. And, it's hard to defend. Arsenal have the best defence in the league. They've conceded 2 goals today from those types of goals. So, do I think a draw is a fair result? Well, it was a draw. Do I think Arsenal are in trouble because of that? No. I think lesser teams than Arsenal would have struggled today. I don't think Liverpool would have gone there and won. I don't think Man City would have gone there and won. So I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you've just got to take a deep breath and go, you can't win every week. You can't keep clean sheets every week. You can probably find ways why you should have won that game. You can probably blame people. There's always someone to blame. But actually, I think in the fullness of time, as I say, I think you'd look at that and go, it's not a bad point. It's what you do next week. It's what you've done for the last few weeks. Sunderland at this moment are a very, very good side, and they work really hard for each other, and they don't give in. And that's to their credit. They're not going to get relegated, which is a new thing, because we're used to seeing teams from the Championship go straight back down. So give Sunderland their credit. And I think Arsenal, whilst disappointed, you've got to realise that it's what you do after this, and you can't win every week. It won't happen. You know, Bayern Munich look like they're amazing in the Bundesliga. They've won their first 9 games, and then they've gone and drawn at Union Berlin 2-2, which is a very similar story to what Arsenal have done. So it happens to everybody, and of course they'll be a bit disappointed, but across the game, I did feel like a draw was probably the right result. And also, I think they massively, massively missed Gyökeres, in my opinion. So there we go. Fair play to Sunderland. Arsenal, give me your thoughts below. Smash a like on the video. Don't forget, tomorrow it's Man City, Liverpool. Can they take advantage of this? I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care.